I had an interesting case come to me. It was there was a local company in sort of the fitness space, and they approached us because they had a trademark application that they had filed through another attorney that kind of blew up. There were some issues in front of the trademark office, not issues that we thought were necessarily problematic, but they weren't handled in the way that I think we would have handled them. And to be quite frank about it, this client of ours, they were at the time they were looking to really be budget conscious, and they chose to use wasn't even a full law firm. It was sort of one of these trademark specialty firms, almost like a legal Zoom for trademarks, if you will. Those things sometimes work out okay, and you can get end to end without spending a lot of money. But when there are substantive issues that come up, and in most trademark filings there are substantive issues, that can really be the downfall for that type of resource. And what had happened was they just didn't get the right counsel, in my opinion. And so they were sort of at the end of the line for their trademark application, and the best course of action was to just basically let it go and abandon it and refile it. And we helped them with that. We refiled and basically sort of start the process over again from scratch. And theoretically that's not a problem if the entity is already using its trademark, running its business, and in this case they were, so they had that going for them. The problem, however, arose when we were going through the process again with the Federal Trademark Office, and between the time that they had filed their first application and then ultimately let it go and then filed their second application, there were a few other filings by other parties for similar trademarks. And now we had to deal with those because they were basically blocking our client's application as we were moving it through the Trademark Office. We were able to ultimately succeed with that and get their trademarks approved, which is fantastic. But the takeaway is that if they had just done it a little bit more comprehensively the first time, they would have saved themselves a lot of money at the end, because what they ended up basically paying us to do, if they had done that from the beginning, they would have saved a lot of money. They would have saved a lot more than they saved by going the ultra cheap route to begin with. So I know a lot of folks in the startup space can be somewhat cautious about hiring lawyers, and that's understandable. But one of the things that everyone should understand is that there's a lot of resources, especially here in the Portland area, and a lot of law firms do offer programs to work with startups.
Yeah, I think most firms, our firm and other firms, have some type of arrangements to defer fees. So we realize as a startup you don't have a lot of money right now. Every bit of money you have has got to go toward, as I said before, it's got to go towards something that's going to produce a return. As a startup, there's some promise that you're going to be successful down the road, and so many law firms are willing to take some risk with you and say, look, we'll invest some time and effort with you up front, and you won't pay us until there's some funding event down the road where you've got some money that you can actually pay for our fees. I think a lot of firms offer those kinds of things. I know we do.